So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't be by himself and walk through them. You can catch me at the most craziest gas station in any hood in America. He'd be like, that you, Zeno? Somebody, yo, let me get that picture. Yeah, look at Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security.
From the very start, the tension is palpable. Eminem's life has always been under an intense microscope. According to public sources, his upbringing in Detroit was far from glamorous, and even now, decades into superstardom, he reportedly surrounds himself with layers of security. Fans speculate that this constant vigilance contributes to what some describe as social anxiety, the inability to just step out without careful planning. Meanwhile, Benzino is still making headlines, seemingly trying to provoke a reaction that never comes. Online reactions suggest that the gap between Eminem's composed silence and Benzino's constant commentary creates a striking contrast, one that fuels endless debate in fan communities. Eminem's calm demeanor, uninterrupted by social media outbursts, stands in sharp relief to the chaos around him.
I ate his stuff. I cooked him. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he cooked me. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But what you stands is not going to do it. What you saltines ain't going to do is try to come here and be like, I didn't affect him. Stop it. Because that shows that y'all ain't real hip hop.
What makes this moment even more fascinating is the sheer persistence of Benzino. According to public sources, in 2025, he's still publicly throwing weak jabs at Eminem, seemingly desperate for acknowledgement. Fans speculate that these repeated attempts are less about real rivalry and more about lingering personal grievances. Meanwhile, Eminem remains silent. No posts, no verses, no public reactions. It's a level of calm and self-assurance that has defined his career since albums like Doomsday Part 2, showing that some conflicts simply fade in the shadow of true artistry. This contrast highlights a larger pattern in hip-hop culture. Those who chase relevance often fade faster than those who let their work speak for itself. The internet is quick to notice, and comment sections have become a battleground where fans dissect every word and every public gesture, feeding the cycle of online drama while Eminem quietly strengthens his legacy.
Shit, fucking with my blood like a rip shit. Under 60 niggas.
I think you're gonna have to owe him an explanation when he gets older. Don't act like we ain't see you on the beach with your Bugs Bunny T-plate with the camera taking pictures. Yeah, you was in your feelings, huh? Nah, Curtis, it's not a good look. But I tell you what, though, the boxing challenge still there, Curtis. For the celebrity, I'm down to make a couple of M's. I'll go 3 rounds with your goofy ass.
The narrative takes an even sharper turn when 50 Cent enters the scene. Reportedly, 50 has always been Eminem's close ally, dating back to the early 2000s when he was among the few to champion M's career during turbulent label negotiations. Online reactions suggest that fans see 50's involvement as a protective move, almost like a guardian stepping into a family dispute. At this point, Benzino's claims start to feel even more disconnected from reality. He's publicly asserting that he made Eminem, that he cooked him, and even attempts to rewrite history to place himself as a pivotal figure in M's rise. But looking at the track record, anyone following hip-hop history knows the story is far different. Eminem turned past conflicts into chart-topping albums, won an Oscar, and built a legacy that spans decades, while Benzino's presence in these narratives has largely faded outside these sporadic confrontations. The internet erupted when 50 Cent jumped on Instagram, roasting Benzino with sharp commentary. Fans and commentators alike described it as a mix of comedy and brutal honesty, reinforcing the idea that sometimes the loudest statement is delivered not with music, but with strategic, viral social media moments.
Let me tell you, his fans, bro, his fans like him because he's white. They don't fuck with us. Let me try to make fun of Eminem. I dusted Eminem. Rap Elvis.
It's Benzino. Hello? Yeah, who's this? Paul. Yeah, Paul's Benzino. How you doing, man? I'm not doing too good. I mean, Steve told me that you want to talk to me, so I'm calling back. Yeah, I spoke to him. He sounds like a little white little bitch that you know what I'm saying, that stays behind security, stays in the studio, and blocked away from society, that he can say whatever he wants. You see, I'm not that fucking dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that dude, man, about Boston niggas extorting dames and everything. What type of shit is that? So real extortion is him extorting hip-hop from fucking streets. That's the real extortion there. You knew what he was gonna do. You knew the songs. You know what he said about me. You know the conversations he had with Fat Chuck. You knew all this shit. No. You should have these peaceful conversations with him. Listen, the only thing that I knew, that if you can't turn this into a thing against me, you and I don't have a problem. Oh, I don't. This isn't. You're a part. Listen, you manage Elvis. You're a part of him. You're a part of him. You're just as much of a part of him. You run Shady Records. You're a part of him. You're a part of that movement. Don't you think it's out of hand already? Well, you know what? I didn't want it to happen in the first place. I spoke to Dave after I heard about the first record, and I was like, Dave, what's up? Why, where's this coming from? And he was like, he's got some things he wanted to get off his chest. And, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, is the call, like, what's the call for? Like, I mean, he's already dropped his record. Like, you guys made your move, so what is really the call for? Oh, I just wanted to see if there's any way that, we can make.
What makes 50 Cent's response so effective isn't just the humor, it's the precision. He doesn't waste energy on vague insults or speculation. According to public sources, he meticulously calls out specific actions, moments, and claims made by Benzino, highlighting inconsistencies and exaggerations. Fans speculate that this kind of accountability resonates more than a simple clapback because it frames the narrative in terms of credibility and history, not just personal preference. Beyond the social media feud, 50 Cent also reminded everyone of the larger context, loyalty and respect within the hip-hop community. Eminem is more than a collaborator. He's someone 50 has publicly called family. That bond adds a layer of weight to any defense or commentary, making it clear that when 50 speaks, it's not just for entertainment, it's about protecting a legacy. Meanwhile, Benzino's moves, from interviews to online rants, seem increasingly performative, fueling the perception that he's clinging to relevance rather than shaping it.
Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't be by himself and walk through a mall. Of course, I'm sure he would get mobbed, but just feeling safe. Like, his whole life he's been
This is in Boston or something like that. How did everybody feel about that?
Nobody paid attention to that.
Right.
Eminem did not grow up gangster, and Eminem knows that.
Benzino's latest comments didn't just spark reactions. They reignited a decades-old debate about race, recognition, and respect in hip-hop. According to public sources, he claimed that Eminem's fan base supports him because of his skin color, suggesting that white audiences are more accepting of M than they are of black rappers. Comment sections reacted immediately, with fans debating the validity of these claims, while others criticized Benzino for framing the conversation in outdated terms. The underlying tension here isn't new. Hip-hop has long wrestled with issues of authenticity and gatekeeping, but the scenario now is almost surreal. Benzino is attempting to confront a figure who has consistently let his work speak for itself. Meanwhile, Eminem remains silent, and that silence has become his loudest rebuttal. Online reactions suggest that every time Benzino pushes, the echo of M's calm dominance makes his arguments feel increasingly hollow.
Got nothing against Eminem. Eminem can rap, but I care about us more. I don't want to go through, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want, for 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem. The fuck you want me to do? Come on, man. My daughter came into the industry figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. You think this shit is fucking cool? Nah, man. We're failing as a people. I don't hate Eminem. I don't know him to hate him. I don't hate white people. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I got an 8-year-old son that I dropped off at school this morning. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm all right. I don't want my DMs filled with, I've had 9 pages knocked down, 1 million. White people think I love all people. Come on, man. All me and Eminem gotta do is sit down and talk with each other. Let's sit down and talk. Let's battle. Let's do whatever. But let's at least face to face meet each other.
If that was to happen, would you give him a 5?
Fuck it, man.
Benzino didn't stop at criticizing Eminem from afar. According to public sources, he doubled down in interviews, painting M as a recluse who hides behind security and studio walls. Fans speculate that this was an attempt to challenge Eminem's authenticity, suggesting that because he didn't come up in the streets, he somehow lacks credibility. But this perspective misses a crucial point. Eminem's rise was fueled by talent, relentless work ethic, and a unique voice in hip-hop. His influence wasn't built in alleys or on corners. It was crafted in studios, battles, and through sheer lyrical genius. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's commentary frames Benzino's claims as outdated and performative. He points out the contrast between M's calculated silence and Benzino's impulsive public outbursts. According to online reactions, this has turned the feud into almost a social media spectacle. Audiences are watching a veteran rapper maintain his legacy while a former critic flails to stay relevant. It's a reminder of how different approaches to conflict can define public perception for decades.
Guess some of them can rap, but I care about us more. Come on, man. My daughter came into the industry figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. I don't hate Eminem. I don't know him to hate him. I don't hate white people. I'm tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I love all people. Come on, man. All me and Eminem got to do is sit down and talk with each other.
What that happened? Would you give him a 5?
I'd hug.
You know what? I didn't want it to happen in the first place. I spoke to Dave after I heard about the first record, and I was like, Dave, what's up? Why, where's this coming from? And he was like, he's got some things he wants to get off his chest. And, what I'm saying? But I mean, is the call, what's the call for? He's already dropped his record. You guys made your move, so what is really the call for? Oh, I just wanted to see if there's any way that, we can make peace of the situation,
I ate his up. I cooked him. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he cooked me. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But what you stands is not going to do it. What you saltines ain't going to do is try to come here and be like, I didn't affect him. Stop it. Because that shows that y'all ain't real hip-hop fans.
Hold on. It's Benzino. Hello? Yeah, who's this? It's Paul. Yeah, Paul's Benzino. How you doing, man? I'm not doing too good. I mean, Steve told me that you want to talk to me, so I'm calling back. Yeah, I spoke to him. He sounds like a little whiny little bitch that that stays behind security and stays in the studio and blocked away from society that he can say whatever he wants. You see, I'm not that fucking dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that dude, man, about Boston niggas extorting Dave and everything. What type of shit is that? The real extortion is him extorting hip-hop from fucking dumb streets. That's the real extortion is. You knew what he was gonna do. You knew the songs. You knew what he said about me. You knew these conversations he had with Fat Chuck. You knew all this shit. No. You should have had these peaceful conversations with him. Listen, the only thing that I knew, that if you can't turn this into a thing against me, you and I don't have a problem. Oh, I don't. This isn't. You're a part. Listen, you manage Elvis. You're a part of him. You're a part of him. You're just as much of a part of him. You run Shady Records. You're a part of him. You're a part of that movement. Don't you think it's out of hand already? Well, you know what? I didn't want it to happen in the first place. I spoke to Dave after I heard about the first record, and I was like, Dave, what's up? Why, where's this coming from? And he was like, he's got some things he wanted to get off his chest. And, what I'm saying? But I mean, is the call, what's the call for? He's already dropped his record. You guys made your move, so what is really the call for? Oh, I just wanted to see if there's any way that, we can make peace.
One of the most striking elements in this saga is the generational perspective. According to public sources, Benzino frequently references the old days as if the early 2000s are still the present. Fans speculate that this inability to move past history undermines his credibility in today's hip-hop landscape. Meanwhile, Eminem's legacy has evolved far beyond those conflicts. Every album, every lyric, every award reinforces a narrative of resilience and artistry, one that Benzino's constant revisiting cannot undo. 50 Cent's role here is equally strategic. His commentary doesn't just defend M, it reinforces the hierarchy of influence within the culture. By highlighting Benzino's exaggerations and public missteps, 50 frames the story not as a feud, but as a cautionary tale about trying to relive past relevance. Online reactions suggest that viewers are captivated not only by the drama, but by the stark contrast between M's enduring quiet dominance and Benzino's frantic attempts to provoke a response. Benzino's phone calls and public statements reveal a layer of tension rarely seen in these situations, the personal collision between perception and legacy. According to public sources, he frames his commentary as concern for hip-hop authenticity, yet the constant revisiting of old disputes shows a struggle to reconcile past influence with current irrelevance. Fans speculate that this is less about Eminem and more about Benzino measuring his own place in a culture that has largely moved on. The contrast couldn't be more striking. One artist's silence resonates louder than decades of commentary, while the other's volume highlights a diminishing platform. This dynamic also exposes the subtle mechanics of online fandom. Every post, every clip, every shared meme becomes a microcosm of how audiences process history and authority. Online reactions suggest a dual fascination, one with the nostalgia of early 2000s conflict, and one with the irony of seeing a once prominent figure struggle for attention. 50 Cent, strategically observing this, transforms the moment into cultural commentary itself. His interventions aren't just responses, they are reminders of loyalty and influence, a public calibration of respect and hierarchy in the community. By framing Benzino's remarks as performative and inconsistent, 50 reinforces the idea that longevity in the culture isn't claimed, it's earned, quietly, and without spectacle. There's also an emotional layer that often gets lost in the headlines. According to public sources, Benzino's appeals for peace, closure, and dialogue reflect a personal desire for reconciliation, yet they coexist with almost performative provocations. This duality creates a tension that keeps audiences invested. Can someone be sincere while simultaneously reigniting old feuds? The commentary here isn't about right or wrong, it's about understanding how legacy, perception, and ego collide over time. Each social media clip, each viral moment, compounds that tension, producing a narrative that is both chaotic and strangely instructive. Meanwhile, Eminem's silence continues to function as a narrative anchor. Without a single post or comment, he exerts control over the entire story, turning inaction into a form of influence that overshadows decades of active provocation. This is where the psychology of celebrity conflict becomes fascinating. Silence, in this context, becomes louder than any diss, sharper than any critique, and strategically timed to maintain relevance without engagement. Fans speculate that this is why Benzino's attempts to provoke him fail. The legend exists outside the reach of reaction, leaving provocateurs exposed to their own contradictions. Culturally, this interplay also highlights the evolution of public attention and storytelling. Whereas early 2000s beefs relied on magazines, radio interviews, and physical distribution, today's feuds unfold across social media in real time, amplified by algorithms and meme culture. Every clip of 50 Cent's commentary, every Benzino rant, every fan reaction becomes a tiny episode in a larger, serialized narrative. Online reactions suggest that part of the fascination comes from witnessing a seasoned figure attempt to rewrite history, juxtaposed against a silent icon whose legacy was already cemented decades ago. The tension isn't just personal, it's generational, artistic, and even structural. It's about the weight of influence, the endurance of legacy, and the fragility of relevance in a fast-moving cultural environment. 50 Cent's interventions, framed through loyalty and timing, remind audiences that history isn't just written by actions, it's preserved by how the community responds. Fans speculate that this is why his posts go viral. They capture the spectacle of accountability, the comedy of public posturing, and the seriousness of underlying respect, all at once. Yet amid the spectacle, there's subtle reflection. According to public sources, this narrative demonstrates how fame and legacy are both protective and isolating. Eminem's life, carefully curated and shielded, contrasts sharply with the exposure and volatility that Benzino experiences every time he steps back into public discourse. The irony isn't lost on fans. The artist with the quietest presence commands the loudest influence, while the one most eager to speak struggles to reclaim a foothold. This is a study in restraint versus impulse, strategy versus reaction, and legacy versus attention. The The narrative also reflects an enduring principle in celebrity culture. The past is never truly gone, and the actions of decades ago can resurface with amplified consequences. Benzino's repeated engagements, juxtaposed with Eminem's deliberate absence, reveal the structural tension between history and current relevance. Online reactions suggest that audiences are captivated not merely by conflict, but by the clarity of who holds power. A reminder that in celebrity culture, respect and influence are earned, not assumed. And through it all, 50 Cent functions as both commentator and participant. He leverages the tension not to escalate harm, but to demonstrate loyalty, to contextualize history, and to entertain. His posts transform every misstep and every claim into lessons for audiences, offering insight into the mechanisms of cultural memory, the consequences of ego, and the persistence of narrative. The humor, the timing, and the strategy converge to produce moments that are simultaneously entertaining and instructive, elevating the saga beyond a simple feud into a study of human behavior and cultural evolution. Ultimately, this story underscores a larger truth about celebrity conflicts. Silence often carries more weight than words, loyalty shapes perception, and history becomes a lens through which every action is magnified. As Benzino's repeated attempts unfold online, audiences witness the consequences of misjudged timing, overstated claims, and the stark contrast between fleeting attention and enduring legacy. It's a reminder that in the complex ecosystem of fame, power isn't about the loudest voice. It's about who remains unshaken, who endures, and who shapes the story long after the noise subsides. And don't go anywhere. Click the next video you see on your screen for even more juicy celebrity chaos, betrayals, and stories Hollywood doesn't want you to know. See you in the next one.